My name is Sophia Reaves. I'm a producer, director, actress, singer, songwriter, TV host, and you are watching The 13th Wolfman.
Hey everyone, I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know, with me today I have Sophia Reaves. She's an upcoming actress, she's a producer, she's a director, she's a writer. She does it all, and she's gonna entertain you here on Sit Down. Welcome to Sit Down, Sophia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a while. From what I read, you've been an actress since you were like 8.
Well, I started writing music when I was 8, so I wrote my first song at 8. I had been singing before then. My entire family sang, so we all had the creative bug. But I started acting probably middle school, doing different plays and that kind of stuff, theater primarily, and choirs and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't. I wasn't on screen till 2009, kind of the summer. I believe the summer of when I went to college. I started hosting and reporting for a television show, so it started there, on screen. And I loved being on screen, so I kind of continued on finding different venues and gigs and places to exercise my talent and practice and all that kind of stuff, and networking and all that kind of thing to bring together a team of people that this past year I brought together a team of people to form a 48-hour team. I'm not sure if you know about the 48-hour film festivals. But that's where I decided to produce and direct. I had got that idea when I was doing a 48-hour film festival as an actor. And I saw all the things that they were doing, and I thought to myself at that time, you know what, I can do this myself. And so the next year, from that entire year, I started planning. And then I did a test run of the 48-hour film festival in the fall of 2015. So that was my first experience kind of producing. I had produced back in 2012, like a short little promotion, like a short little video that I put on YouTube. But that was it. So I guess it would be my second time producing. I did that trial run, and then I produced and directed the Goober film, which was premiered at the 48-hour film festival and was selected one of the best of, and screened at the best of for the DC 48-hour film festival. So it's been a long ride. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it all in, like, you know, a timeline in a nutshell. But there's a lot of different things in between that's happened, things that I've done, commercials, television.
Well, you did a PSA for the airports.
Yeah, I did.
Got you another job.
Exactly. I did a PSA for a Homeland Security. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities. And that was fun because I didn't even realize when I was doing this gig that it would be nationally aired and it would be put up in airports. And, you know, so people started sending me, oh, I see your like picture on, you know, the airport, like how they would have those tall, what are they called? It's not like those boards that they change to different kinds of, billboards.
Yeah,
I guess, you know, but they would have that in the airports, and there was a few people who would who took pictures and sent it to me, and they had it in like train stations and different. So people would send pictures of where they were at in Las Vegas and, you know, California, LA. Was it LA? No, Nevada. There was just a whole bunch of different places. So they just sent it, and I thought it was really cool. That was all after the fact that it happened. And then that same group, the same team crew that did that PSA, they had done another commercial a few months later for the Dominion Power Company. Okay. And they called me back to do a featured part. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, yeah, I've done quite an interesting one that I did acting wise, was for what was it called? Who the Bleep Did I Marry?
TLC.
Character Ebony on, I think it was season 6, episode 9, if I'm not correct. And anyways, I played this very dark character, but it was very interesting because this character was real. This character actually was a real life character that I was playing. So I wanted to be able to portray the character well, and be able to kind of give people the idea of what the character truly was. And it was all like extemporaneous. There wasn't much scripting happening. So, I had fun with the crew and the cast. So that was a highlight. But now I've gotten into producing and directing, and I still do acting as well, kind of intermittently. But right now I'm focusing on the producing, directing side of things.
We have a few things that, I mean, we're going to show a few teaser trailers for your movies. Why don't we have you introduce one now? How about you introduce Deranged? Give a little quick synopsis about Deranged.
Sure. So I decided to produce and direct a short action series. I had distribution with DeadlyDimes.com, and how I started, I got a super small fund to do these kind of test video shoot auditions. And I went through several different girls and auditioned them in this way, where I would produce short little kind of action videos in 6 hours, a 6-hour window on a Sunday. So we went through several Sundays where we had these girls come down and see how much they can accomplish and what we could do. So a few days before, we would come up with a short script based around action, because this site is based around action. So we wanted to come up with something primarily action, but with a storyline developing it, because a lot of the videos so far on the site don't have that. So I decided to do these test video shoot auditions, and this was one of the highlight of mine. I was able to cast my leading lady, one of my leading ladies. Cassidy is the character name, but that she's going to be playing in the series. But in this audition test video, these were kind of separate scenarios that we created on the fly to create this short action scene. So it's separate from the action series. But so she's not going to be playing that character that you see in Deranged. But okay. From that, I did choose her to play one of the lead characters in my action series. So
here's Deranged.
What you need to do is stop looking at so many dead bodies.
It's my job.
You said the last victim had your name, right?
I never tell you that.
And so that was Deranged. Now I want to go back to what you were talking about earlier, where you said you wrote a song at the age of 8. Was this just something like were you inspired to do this by anyone, or was it just something you woke up and said, I want to see if I could do it?
At the age of 8, I mean, like I said, from a very early age, I started singing. So I was always just singing randomness. So I think as I started developing, and understanding words and all that kind of stuff, I mean, I was raised a Christian. I grew up in the church, and so I sang a lot in the church. So naturally, a lot of the beginning songs were revolving around my faith or something involving God or that kind of thing. So that's how it started. But I think it was, to go back to your question, I think it just happened. It just happened naturally. I mean, I came out, and my family is very creative. My mom was singing. My sister does as well. So my dad does. Everybody does. So I kind of just was born into that.
That's kind of a cool environment to be born into, a creative environment. I mean, there are some people I know that go on to become actors and whatnot that, they weren't raised around it whatsoever. It just turns out that they kind of found this love and they fell into it. So it's kind of nice when you can say, oh, yeah, well, the creative juices are inherited. You'll pass them on to your kid and so on. And
yeah, creativity is important. I definitely would want my kids to develop their creativity. I mean, I want them to explore, if I do have kids. But I would want them to explore all the different options and find what they love. There's creativity in everything.
And the reason I said that I figured you were acting but when you were 8 is because what I read about you is the fact that when you became a singer, or when you wrote your first song, your parents kind of threw you in. The thing I read was that your parents kind of put you into musicals, at the time. And so I thought, oh, well, whether it's a musical or it's drama, it's acting. So.
Yeah. No, my mom. So that's why I was involved in all the different musicals at my church. We had major productions, very good productions, actually, for high school productions. And I was involved, every year. I did various competitions, acting competitions. I was involved with 4-H. And with 4-H, they have this competition, county, regional, state, and one of the aspects of the competition is dramatic interpretations, acting. So I every year would be doing this, and I won state champion my senior year, going through all the county, regional, state, and actually every year I did it, I would win champion. Every year I did it, I would go to the next level. But then a few of the years during high school, because I told you I was very involved with my church. I went on mission trips to Mexico, so I wasn't able to go to the state level. So I was very, very involved with acting, musicals, and singing growing up.
Okay, this is just going to show you how blind I am. I didn't realize that 4-H had an acting thing.
Yeah, there you go.
I just
think it's strictly animals. They're like, oh,
right here. Sorry.
Animals. Like, well, I didn't have any farm animals at all, but you can be involved. Yes. Leadership, citizenship, responsibilities, those are key attributes that they try to instill in their young ones.
Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I grew up, I went to the county fairs, and every county fair had, the 4-H there.
Yeah, so. Because there's an aspect, half of it is kind of, if you have a certain horse, this animal, that pig, this, every animal. And then there's the other half that's kind of the community service, that half of things.
And no one talks about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, some people find out, and those are the people that, are involved, obviously. But yeah, it was awesome.
So you went on to college, and you got actually an MBA. But is that right? That you got a degree in acting?
I got a degree in the arts. I got a degree in vocal performance, so not in an MBA. I got an associate's from Montgomery College. And then I went to Howard University for 1 year. I don't think I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but I did go for 1 year for vocal performance, jazz studies. And I was on scholarship there, but unfortunately they cut the scholarship the final year. So I dropped out of college at that point and went straight into what I was doing, acting, and then now into producing, directing.
That's great. This is a great story. I just love it. Well, like I said before, we have four trailers to show. Let's hear a little bit about 4 versus 1 robbery.
So Grace is in that video. She's playing our character Charlene. In that video, we just did a short. It actually took us all of like 3, possibly 4 hours to complete that. Her learning the choreography and us shooting that video. Now it is a teaser trailer, but the full videos, if I haven't mentioned them, they're all up on deadlydimes.com.
And those links will be down below, so people can go to the description, click on them, and go there.
Great, awesome.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, and Grace is going to be playing our character, an important character, an important role in the series. She actually is an Olympic trained TKD fighter, Taekwondo fighter. So I'm very excited to have her on board the series, and you can see some of her skill in this video.
Are they on your desk or someone's here?
Yeah, it does look like she knows what she's doing when it comes to the martial arts. I took a little Taekwondo when I was younger. I didn't, nothing at that level. So, let's talk about your production company, 3130. What's the significance of the name of 3130? Do you get this question a lot?
I get that question. I do. 3130 stands for Proverbs 31:30.
Of course.
And it's a scripture verse. I actually, in my production website, I have the 31:30 at the bottoms and a link to where you can see the actual scripture verse. But it talks about beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So I always wanted that to be something that I'm reminded of, that going through my career and my life, I am not focused on just one thing, my looks or anything that I can do that's getting me further or whatnot, but that I'm always reminded that He has given me these gifts, and I am to be fearing Him and following Him. So I do want that to be a reminder as I'm gaining more success and more following. I want that to be a constant reminder to myself. So that's why I titled or made my production company that. So I will always remember, kind of thing. So
just to keep you humble.
For certain. Yeah.
So that answers my next question. I was going to say, you talk a lot about your faith and growing up and being part of the church. And I was going to say, is it as big of a thing in your life now as it was growing up? But it sounds like it's even bigger.
I think it's something that, I'm not, nobody's perfect. Nobody's,
No.
I've been blessed to be in a Christian family. I've been blessed to grow up with, different opportunities that, not everybody has. So I appreciate those things. And even more now as an adult, I realize how much all those things have helped me. So I think it's something where, I want to continue as I'm going through this, this phase of life, going to the next, then going to the next step in life. I don't want to forget anything that or where I've come from. I don't want to forget my values and those things as I'm building and and advancing in this industry. So, I don't know if I could say, I feel like if my faith's stronger or anything like that. I just want that to be a constant reminder.
Okay. I just kind of figured that sounded like it was a little bit more in your life because name your production company 3130. I mean, so I mean that says something in it of itself right there.
Yeah.
What? Yes, I mean I think it's great that you have that kind of belief, and you want to be reminded of God and your faith and what your family. I mean, I think it's great you're trying to keep yourself humble and grounded.
Well, I think it's important. I never want to get to a point where I feel like I've made it. I can't learn anymore, or I'm too good, or that kind of stuff. There's always room to grow. There's always room to get better.
And that happens to some actresses. I mean, so.
But we have another video to see, right?
Yeah, we do.
What's the next one?
How about Betrayed?
Betrayed.
Yes.
Betrayed was a good one.
I'm saving the best for last.
It has, it has more of a storyline. Funny story to that one. We actually had a script that was sent. It was like Thursday night or something. It was later than what we were hoping for to get the script back. But once I got it, I was like, oh no, like I can't film this script. I can't do this audition test video script. Because, I told you about my values and I felt like it conflicted with my values. And I have a team working. So I did have a writer at the time who was writing the different scripts for me. So I spent the next few hours, and actually my mother was helping me, and I was like retyping up the script. And I basically used like maybe a couple sentences that were the same, but I had to restructure the entire thing. So that's the story behind Betrayed. And this is the result of it, the storyline that was, what happened after. So you won't see that first script, but
that's fine with me.
Yeah. So Betrayed, and the character Joanna that you'll see in the Joanna trailer, the teaser trailer, she is our character in the series as well. So she's our third girl in our action series. So you'll be able to meet her now.
Remember, we got 1 hour to crack that safe and get out of there.
$1 million. Divided by 3, that's...
And that is Betrayed. So you said you start out with a team and you had someone else writing your scripts for you. Are you moving on to writing your own stuff now?
Well, I don't write my stuff directly. So anything that I write is kind of it's either short or it's correcting something or it's in addition to. It's not I'm writing a full out script because it takes a lot of time. And I want to have someone spend a lot of time in the creation process, researching and making sure every aspect is, correct. So I have an awesome script writer for our action series. Our writer he's been an assistant writer for HBO's Veep and other shows, and he's written a lot of work for himself. And I've always read his stuff and been intrigued and wanted to basically visualize the entire thing and wanted to watch more. So I actually have the first episode of the script that he has written for our series, and everybody who I've sent it to so far, I did send it to the casting crew so they could start working on it because we're filming next month. But everybody loved it. They were like, "Oh, wow!" Like, wow, I loved it. Like, oh, that ending. I wanted to have those endings, kind of like The Walking Dead, where you're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I have to see the next one for me to, be able to, be fulfilled. So, I wanted that whole feeling, but with the three female girls being able to kick butt in this action series, kind of a raw, gritty series, developing stories and developing characters. So I want it to be very real. But yeah, so I don't want to take up all my time writing, so I do allow and find other writers that I think are really good and bring them on board my team. But if I have to write, I can write. And if you watch Betrayed, you'll see that's one that I did kind of write.
So is action your favorite? I mean, you're doing a lot of action stuff. Is it your favorite genre?
Well, I do really like action. I saw it as an opportunity because I knew and was forming a relationship with the distributor of DeadlyDimes.com. And he was able to create a page for me called The Big Screen, where I could be able to develop some of these videos and take the action that his fans loved on the site and actually make storylines around it. So that's what I've started to do. And for Deranged and Robbery, the robbery video with Grace in it, those two are already on the site and they're doing very well. And they have some, pretty good, pretty positive feedback. So I just want to get better from here. And right now we've done it on such a small budget. But I am excited to say that I do have an investor backing our series. So we are going to have the proper funds to be able to make sure everything is done properly, everything is done right. People have, the time to spend to make sure that things are done the way they should be, so that we get a quality project and people want to watch it over and over again. So that's what we're going for, and we're shooting next month, so everything's happening pretty quickly. And after that, it'll be produced and uploaded, sent out, I'm sure, very soon after that. I have quick turnarounds with my videos. So just like the teaser, if you haven't seen yet, the teaser trailer for Joanna. That teaser trailer that was done just not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that. He shot the video, and then a couple days later, he sent me the video. So, I have videos produced very quickly. I try to live by that rule because I don't have. I feel like my life's going very quickly, so I need to get to it. So,
do you do any editing yourself?
I have. I feel like I've kind of done a tad bit of everything. I actually edited the teaser trailer for A Robbery. Yeah, I didn't have a editor on that one doing the teaser trailer. So I did it myself, used my computer, got it done on iMovie. But yeah, okay. I'd rather get somebody else to get it done. I like to be that person. But if push comes to shove, I can get something done.
I actually enjoy editing,
Oh, really?
because I edit my videos and it's just something I really, really enjoy. Well, you brought it up, Joanna. Save the best for last. Let's show the trailer for that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So, Joanna. So this is our first kind of promo for our character in the series. Joanna. She starts out in the series as a cop. She's following in her father's footsteps. She has a half-sister, Cassidy, who she was not raised with. Her half-sister, Cassidy, was raised on the streets with her mother, who was kind of a drunkard and that kind of thing. Joanna actually was raised with her father. They both have the same fathers, Joanna and Cassidy, different mothers. So right now we have a promo trailer kind of introducing you to this character in the series. She was trained. She had a sensei as a young one. So she learned various different styles of martial arts. And you can see her skill in this video.
Well, Sophia, I want to thank you for coming by, sit down. I had a blast talking with you. The people are looking to find you on the social media, on the internet. Where can they find you?
Okay, so they can find me at a few different spots. YouTube, I'm on there. 3130productions.net. If you go on there, you can find links to the YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook and any other place besides the website. But on 3130productions.net, 3130 productions with an S at the end, .net, you can find all the different teaser trailers and a few other videos that are not action based. A few of them are dark comedy. A few others I've done are up on that site, so you can see that. And then there are other videos out there if you want to check out more things on YouTube. You can go through the website to my channel.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for coming on. For Sophia Reaves, I'm the 13th Wolfman, and of course, I'm on the prowl. Hey everyone, you know who I am. I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know who I have back? I have Genoveva Rossi. Now this is going to be interesting because we don't get to see her. She's in Portugal. Genoveva, welcome back to Sit Down. From afar, I say.
Hey, it's great to be back. I'm glad I was able to Skype in from Portugal. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. Thanks for having me.
Oh, always. This is cool. So you said you were on vacation in Portugal hanging out with basically a friend of yours.
Yeah, one of my best friends is Portuguese, and she's been trying to get me to come out to Portugal for a while. So here I am in Portugal. I'll be here for a week and then I'm going to be spending about a week in Rome. So Rome, Italy. So I am keeping myself pretty busy. I haven't gone to Europe in a little while, so I decided to kind of go on a European vacation this summer because August tends to be kind of a slow month for work and stuff. So I figured why not come out to Europe and have some fun. You know, I deserve it.
She's going back to the motherland, people.
Vacation, so yeah.
Next week you're going back to the motherland.
Yeah, well, this will be an interesting one. You know, Portugal's to visit my friend, and then I'm going to Rome. Yeah, Rome will be very interesting because, I'll be going to the Vatican. I'll be going to probably the catacombs and a lot of the Colosseum and a whole bunch of other things while I'm in Rome. So, yeah, Rome is really like one of the most important cities in Italy. So that'll be, pretty exciting. The only other time I've been to Italy is a few years ago. I was in Sicily for 9 days and took a tour of the major cities. And that was a beautiful vacation as well, because Sicily is like an island, and it has all these, you're swimming around in the Mediterranean. There's all these beautiful ruins, and the food is fantastic. And I'm sure the food will be fantastic in Rome. And the food has been fantastic here in Portugal as well. I love eating vacations. I think that should be the focus of vacations, eating.
I bet you do.
I respect cultures that have good food. Yeah.
I was going to say, the one thing you're going to love about Italy is, all that thick Italian food, I mean, you've said it before in many of the other interviews that's what you were raised on.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then, of course, with Italian food, a lot of those the cuisines are regional. So when I was in Sicily, it was very much the regional cuisine. And Sicily, being so close to North Africa, is very much influenced by like Arabic cooking. Like there's a lot of couscous, and they're surrounded by the ocean, by the Mediterranean Sea, I should say. And so there's a lot of seafood, but they also have flat land. So there's also a lot of meat and cows and things like that, and blood oranges and all this wonderful stuff. They cultivate their own olives and grapes. And then Rome will have a very different flavor, I'm sure, when it comes to the food as well. And I'm sure every city is pretty much like that. Like if you look like at southern Italian cooking versus central or northern, it's all very different from each other, you know. But it's all awesome. You know, none of it's bad.
So along with
Eat it all. That's my recommendation.
Along with putting more stamps in your passport, you said you're taking a vacation, so you must have been busy doing some other stuff. Have you filmed anything since the last time we talked?
Oh, yeah, I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. So one thing that I did most recently is I worked with Larry Rosen. We actually have been together a couple times. We met on a film a couple years ago called Midnight Show, which hasn't been released yet, but has Lemmy from Motorhead in it and a whole bunch of other great people. And then we teamed up together recently for a short film called The Abducted, which has been doing playing at a lot of film festivals. We did a film called Cries and Pleads, and then I think maybe like a week and a half ago, we shot his film Into the Outbreak, which is a zombie dramatic horror film that I'm in. And then we shot a short film called You Can't Predict Fate. And my character in that very much plays like homage to Kathy Bates in Misery. So I was really excited to play that role and to play that part. And that short film is also going to be part of an anthology called Death at a Barbecue. So it'll also be in a feature as well as being a short. So look for that, Death at a Barbecue. You know, who knew barbecues could be that dangerous? Evidently they can be. So be careful, guys, this summer. You know, yeah. So I was really excited to do that because I always loved Misery. I always loved Kathy Bates, and I love playing crazy effed up characters. So, you know, it was fantastic. I had a great time doing it. Larry Rosen's a great director to work with, so that was a great thing to work on. And then, you know, and then we shot that, and, you know, I had a fantastic time. It was extremely challenging. And then I've worked on a couple things before that. I'm trying to think of what I worked on since then. A lot of things, like, you know, I shot something in New Orleans a while ago. A few months ago, called I Was a Teenage Mutant Alien Cyborg. And that was kind of like this sci-fi B-rated movie that was kind of interesting. And that's something that should be hopefully coming out in the next, 6 months or so. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I'm super excited that Apocalypse Kiss, a film that I star in with Michael Berryman, Tom Atkins, Kamal Hazlitt, Grillo, Tammy Jean, has been re-released. So we're super excited about that with a brand new distributor. And that's making, a lot of people are watching it now. It's getting a lot of reviews. It's really out there. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. And then Hunters finally came out, directed by Adam Albrandt, which is a very controversial and edgy horror film with myself, Ellie Church, Mel Heflin, Tina Kraus. A whole bunch of people are in that. I'm probably not even mentioning everybody. Oh, Jason Vale is in that as well. He was fantastic to work with. I had a great time working on Hunters, and that's another great film where I play kind of a crazy character, too. I play a character called Edna. And that's an interesting one. And then Apocalypse Kiss, I play like a pregnant character named Clara. It's a more dramatic role. And so they're both pretty interesting roles for me between Apocalypse Kiss and Hunters. So I definitely recommend them both, although I'm sure different sorts of people are going to enjoy them. Apocalypse Kiss is more of a sci-fi thriller set 50 years into the future. DC Douglas plays a serial killer. So that's a pretty exciting film. Look for me as Clara. I'm like a 9-month pregnant hippie in that. You might not recognize me because people aren't used to seeing me 9 months pregnant. And then if you watch Hunters, look for me as Edna. I'm in some flashback scenes that take place in the 1950s. So I got to dress up as a 1950s kind of character. Okay. And I have an accent in that, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I have an accent, a southern accent. So I might be a little bit hard to distinguish in that one as well, you know.
Well, I'll make sure to leave all the...
Adam Albrandt is a kind of this crazy genius.
I'll make sure to leave all the links for those movies down in the show notes so people can click on them and if they use the thing for Amazon through the Dorkening, they'll help support the Dorkening. Well, Genoveva, I want to
definitely like Apocalypse Kiss is definitely like the kind of thing you would probably enjoy if you saw like a Blade Runner kind of movie, and then Hunters I would say is like an extreme horror film.
Cool.
So, little different, two very different films. So.
Well, I want to thank you for stopping
ask
by.
Me something, Wolfie. Thank you so much. And then if anybody wants to check me out, I have a website now, GenovevaRossi.com. GenovevaRossi, Rossi.com. They can check me out on there. Look at my IMDb. I just hit 82 IMDb credits recently, since I think 2012. So I've been keeping pretty busy, and I know I have a lot of projects coming up. I've been working on a few in the last couple months, and now I have more projects than ever before out that you can definitely find online and watch. So check me out.
Okay. For Genoveva Rossi, I'm the 13th Wolfman, and
thank you.
On the prowl.